debut today. Can you just give us your thoughts on how excited you are for him and your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, excited for him. I mean, I think a guy that's proven and deserved that it's time for him to get a start. The expectation is just for him to go out and throw strikes, compete.
He's somebody who's worked on tunneling pitches, getting swing and miss. I know he doesn't have a ton of velo, but what do you think his potential could be and how he could execute?
Well, I think execution of pitches is the main thing. Ability to throw 4 pitches, ability to attack both sides of the plate with those 4 pitches are kind of what stands out.
I remember you saying last week at the end of spring training that you wouldn't know how the rotation would look in order until we got through these first couple off days. Was Thomas a part of that equation, or was there a possibility that you thought, like, hey, if the bullpen goes this way, Thomas could be up this early?
Well, I think the one thing is we didn't send him to St. Paul and that was more just to keep him out of the climate because we knew he wasn't going to pitch up there. I think the fact that, there was the option of this game, we hadn't fully decided that, but I think we were giving ourselves that option.
And then with Bednar, how tough of a conversation is that?
Yeah, it's a challenging conversation, just number one, because of who David is as a person and, actually what he's done over the course of his time with the Pirates. But more importantly, I think it's important for us, we got to get him right. I mean, this guy is going to be a big part of our bullpen. We see him going down, getting right, coming back and being a part of our bullpen. But it's a challenging conversation. But, right now it's about making sure that we get David Bednar back to the status he was before.
What's that look like? What does he need to achieve?
I think that's what our pitching group will kind of put together. It seems like what the pitch mix is, pitch locations, whether it's a delivery thing, all those things are what our pitching group will focus on and talk to David. And I think, you guys have always known the specifics of that. We really never discuss with that way. But, there is some room for improvement there, and that's what we're looking for.
With David going down and Carmen staying up, does that change the rotation at all? What the bullpen makeup is?
The bullpen makeup right now is, David has come out and Harrington's actually gone into that spot. So I think as we get through the next week or so, we'll have a better idea in terms of actual roles. Some of it will depend on who's available. And then more importantly, I don't think right now there's one specific person that we've targeted to pitch the ninth.
Does Carmen stay in the starting rotation for now?
Yeah, as of now, we don't plan on Carmen coming out of the rotation. I mean, I thought Carmen did a good job last night. I mean, we touched on it post game a little bit. 3 strong innings, not a lot of hard contact. It's just in that inning, the pitch count kind of ran up a little bit, but overall didn't give up a ton of hard hit balls.
Does that mean this might be a spot start for Thomas, or are you guys considering a 6-man rotation?
Yeah, I don't think we've decided that. I think to Noah's point, once we get through the next off day, I think we'll have a better inclination of what we're going to do throughout the rest of April.
Is everything okay with Kutch back-to-back off days with Fred?
Yeah, Kutch is fine. There's no issues with him whatsoever.
And then Jason DeLay just DFAing him. I mean, that's a tough decision.
Again, challenge. I mean, we've had a couple today with people that are really good human beings in terms of decisions. I think the thing with JD is that, we came into spring training with 4 catchers on our 40-man. That's very rare. As we got into camp, Henry's development continues to go well. Bottom of the roster decisions are always challenging, and this is one that, ultimately he became a casualty in.
Big conversation in baseball these days, torpedo bat. What's your take on that?
They're a legal bat. I mean, I think that's the big thing. And, as we've continued to talk about whether it was last year or the year before with the pucks at the end of the bat, bats are always changing. And I think hitters are always going to try to figure out what's the best thing in my hand to fit my swing. Some hitters now feel this torpedo bat is one of the cases. I mean, it's not like they're new. They were available last year. They were available in spring training. We saw guys use them in spring training. Everybody has the availability to do it. Now, the fact that 9 homers were hitting a game in New York has kind of highlighted the fact that, now they're the new sexy thing. I think we'll see it be used by guys. I think guys will go away from it. Guys will stay with it. But one of the things I truly believe in is that hitters over the next 3 or 4 years are going to try to find legally what is something that fits their swing the best. And right now they're a legal bat, so people can use them.
Doesn't that address the whole issue of adjustment in baseball? Essentially gave them adjustment.
100%. And I think it's one of the things in terms of the bats are one situation where we really haven't caught up. I mean, if you go on the PGA Tour and ask every PGA Tour player that plays, their club is customized to what their swing is, their swing speed. I cannot even begin to tell you what it is, or how it works, but we have the same information with hitters now in the game. And I think hitters are starting to realize, like, all right, we need to build stuff that works to what I'm doing. And I think we'll see that change over the course of the next probably 3 or 4 years, or we've already started to see that change with how bats have adjusted.
Thank you.
One last thing about Thomas. What was the most impressive thing you saw about him in spring, when you saw him pitch in spring? What was the most
Composure, not having been around him a ton, just his overall composure on the mound.
So, US bring you out with a Canario. What do you expect from him?
Yeah, well, I think when we get him into camp, or when we get him, we'll have a better idea. But I mean, guy that has some impact in the bat, right-handed hitter. So those are the things we really liked. He had a good spring. He's somebody